Hello, 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 everybody. Hey, hey. This is Lavondalyn Watson saying Kiss That Fire Coach, and I am fired up today. I have the opportunity to share the screen with the Jene't Taylor, the pastor relief trainer. I am so very excited to be with her today. I have asked Jene't to come on and share with you her experience with FBS3 because I know you looking, I know you're praying about it. I know you're thinking about it. I know you want to come on board. So I have asked her to share her experience with you today so that it will help you to make your decision. Now, I am excited to have Jene't, out of all people, talk to you about FBS3 because when I first met her, I knew instantaneously that God was ready to do a work through her. I loved her spirit on camera. She jumped on one of my webinars and I was like, God, I want to work with her. I know you are ready to use her. And so when I had the opportunity to talk to her in the sales call, I already knew what God was doing. I knew that God was ready to not just bless her, but he was ready to use her in ways he had not used her before. And I love to say, God, when you're ready, I'm ready. So I was ready for her and she has been such a joy. She has been my star student. I'm telling you, she is the best. So I want you to meet Jene't. Jene't, it's so awesome to share the camera with you. How you doing today?
Good morning. I am good. How are you?
I'm good. I am good. So please tell the people, all the people, tell them what it is that you do and who you do it for.
Okay, so I am again Jene't Taylor, and I am the secretary, church admin, whichever title you go by, for Christ Chapel Unadilla here in Georgia, and I've been doing that for 8 years. And that is like, I don't know, sometimes it feels like it's my primary job, but I also do have a 9 to 5.
Yes. Okay. And so tell them what the pastor relief trainer is and why you offer that service.
Okay, so the pastor relief trainer, I train church admins to work in excellence so that their pastors can solely focus on their call. And what that basically means is that I help ministries where the pastor is overwhelmed from trying to handle everything. And that's their job as a pastor. If they work a 9 to 5 and still trying to balance life with their family, there's a lot of pastors these days that I see that are struggling. And they come into our church and they're always looking at my pastor like, how is this? How are y'all doing this? And how do you get to take a vacation? And who did that? And, these different questions of like, how are you putting this off? And it's because I step up in my role and I don't, and it's like, I respect him for who he is and what he's supposed to do. And I know what my role is. So I take that all off of him so that he can breathe and he can do what a pastor is supposed to do. So my passion that the Lord I know gave me, because I do this stuff in my sleep, unfortunately, and I just want to help other ministries. I want to see other pastors breathe again, so that they can do what they're called to do, which is help save our souls. Give us the words that we need that come through them from God.
Amen. That is so good. I can tell you, I have worked with churches. I have worked, prior to, working full time in my own business, I worked with churches in marketing, and I watched pastors do everything. I watched pastors, have to come and open buildings and stuff for events on the weekend.
Why?
I watched pastors, yes, like I watched pastors stretch themselves to the max, still work a full-time job and pastor full-time and try and be, there for their family as well. So when I heard what you do for your business, I was overjoyed because so many pastors need relief. They need their staff to be trained and equipped so that they can do what God has called them to do. So I love your work. I love that you still, work 9 to 5 as well, because a lot of the people coming into FBS3 also work a full-time job and they are building their businesses on the side, hopefully one day to replace their full-time job. Their business. So I am glad that you mentioned that you still have a full-time job as you support your pastor and as you build this business on the side. So I'm just going to fire off some questions at you, Jene't.
Let's go.
Just like I've told everybody else, be honest.
Okay.
Be honest.
Are you ready?
Say all the things.
Are you ready? No, I'm ready.
So if you will, what made you decide to do FBS3? Why did you do this faith-based business school?
So number one, I have no idea how the Lord had our paths crossed. I still can't remember how that happened. But to me, those type of relationships mean more to me than the ones that I can remember, because to me that was, and what you guys will learn later, it was a divine connection.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, I must have to do this, because I don't remember how I found Coach. No idea. Like she said, we had our sales call and she was telling me about FBS3, and it sounded like something I wanted to do, because one is deeply, deeply, deeply rooted in the word. Coach don't go nowhere without her Bible, and she don't teach nothing without her Bible. And that's how my pastor is. Everything at our church, if it ain't in the word, we ain't doing it. He has stopped us from singing songs because the words didn't line up with the word in the Bible. So when Coach told me it was a faith-based school, I was like, okay, so I can't go wrong with that. And then what she taught and what my pastor taught all lined up together. Yes, you're supposed to be students yourself of the word, but when the person that's my spiritual leader matches up with a coach I'm looking at, I don't think I can go wrong. I can't go wrong. So that was the reason why I decided, like, okay, when this is about God, period. And that's all I want to do is make him happy with the gift that he gave me. Yeah. So and then also so when I found Coach, or when God gave me Coach, I was in, we're gonna say business for a year almost. I had Facebook account, I had my IG account, I had a business checking account, but it was there. What I was doing, don't know. I was just posting stuff, posting stuff that I thought was going to work, to try to pull people in myself. I was it was like right before COVID hit is when I started my business. So there was a whole lot of groups being raised up on Facebook for small businesses. Throw post your link here to your business and we'll follow you, you follow us. And there was a whole bunch of this. So, and it was all about numbers and numbers. And so I saw my IG numbers raised up. I saw my Facebook number. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. But then when I looked at it, I was like, what are you doing? You're not, there's just nothing being fruitful out of this. You just got a whole bunch of people you know nothing about that you're connecting with. And I was like, okay. So when Coach and I talked, I was like, okay, she's going to get me where I need to go. I'm pretty sure. And it's going to make more sense to me what I need to be doing and how I need to be doing, because I had stuff everywhere. Nice. So I was like, yeah, and she had to help me understand I needed to take a chance on myself, invest in myself to do that. So that's why I decided to do FBS3.
You actually just answered the next question, which I think is great, because I was going to ask you, what was your business like prior to FBS3? And I love that you said, I was just doing things. I was showing up on Instagram. I was showing up on Facebook, and I had the likes and I had the followers. I was seeing numbers raised, but really, like, what am I doing? Right? Like, what is this being fruitful? Is this helping me? And I think a lot of people are there. They're doing all the things, right? They're going live on social, they're showing up on social, they're doing all the things, but they may not be seeing the fruit of those things. They may not be making any money. They may not actually have any clients. They may not be selling anything, or at least not consistently. And so one of the things that you said when you came into the program, which I thought was great, is like, I gave the scenario of throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. And that really resonated with you, because that's exactly what you were doing prior to coming into
all I was doing.
Like just throwing stuff. I hope this works.
It was everywhere.
Right. And so I'm so glad that you came into the program. So
Yeah,
now that
and I was like following, you know how you know people that's doing stuff and they're real successful doing it. I
yeah,
was trying to follow the same thing that they were doing, thinking
yeah.
like, okay, if they're doing it that way, then that's what I need to be doing. And it was not the way
Good
to
advice.
go.
No, that is so good because, and that's one of the things that we talk about in FBS3, right? Not looking around, right? Because what we do is
Mm-hmm.
we try to look around and see what other people are doing and replicate that in our
Mm-hmm.
businesses. But that may not be what God has for you to do. And that may not be the
Right.
best thing for you to do in your industry, in your call with your gifting. And so you can't look around, you got to look up. And that's one of the things that I teach in the program. And so that's excellent, Jene't. So now, now that, well, first of all, I was going to say, now that you've done FBS3, what's different? But before I even want you to answer that, I want to ask you about your FBS3 experience. Now, I'm always hesitant to ask this question because I'm always afraid of what y'all are going to say. But really, what was your experience like in the 12-week program? Like, what was your experience like?
Okay. So I am a nerd by heart. So I enjoyed every part of FBS3. Was it hard? Yes. And I say that because I work a full-time job. And then add a class on to it and homework. And then just the work on myself, going through the class. And don't forget the church work too. So all of that was a lot. But it's worth it. It was so worth it. The only drawback would probably be my husband, because the emails will come out from coach that say we'll start right at 7 in 90 minutes, and I'm in here till like 10 o'clock and just laughing and carrying on. And I come out my office and he's like, that was not class. Y'all were not in there learning anything. But I was like, we're still learning. We're learning from each other's experiences, and you'll learn. It's the parking lot ministry. Do not miss the parking lot ministry. Don't miss it. It's just as valuable as the class. But FBS3, it was really good. My favorite part was the first 6 weeks, the spiritual foundation. Because yes, I've already had moments where I've had to go back to what she taught in the first 6 weeks. I've had to lean on that. You can't really see this stuff right here, but this is my FBS3 corner in my office. And I have looked at that every morning as I'm pacing in this, because it's also my prayer room. As I'm pacing back and forth praying, that's one of my stops. I stop right there because that's my business, and that's what coach has taught me, and all the things I need to be praying for, and just reminding myself that God didn't put this gift in me to hold. Amen. So it keeps, FBS3 really made me, I'm a confident person anyway, but it made me grab control of what I was doing, and it made me gain even more confidence in what I'm trying to give out that the Lord gave me. Because I want to teach everybody, but how I'm going about doing it, I got clarity through FBS3. I was able to, everything, all the spaghetti I was throwing, we got it all in one pot now. It's no longer on the walls. It's all right there together, and I know how to maneuver all of the things in the right way. Good. I'm no longer guessing. I know I have my notes everywhere, that I can turn back to say, okay, what did coach say? At some point, if you're like me and you're that deep into it, you will hear coach in your head. She will be in your head. She will be in your head. So, and that's good to me. That's good, because I need those constant reminders. Like, okay, Jene't, you did not pay this money to give all of yourself to this and then not do nothing afterwards. So, yes, to FBS3, I would do it all over again.
Awesome.
All of it.
A couple of things that you said, I want to bring clarity to for those who do not understand what the parking lot ministry is. That is the time that we spend together after class. So when class is over and I have already taught all of the things, sometimes we just hang out after class and we talk about what we just learned. We talk about what's happening in life. We talk about, what God is doing, the strongholds, the challenges. And sometimes literally the Lord just starts moving. The Holy Spirit just starts moving. And in that conversation, so much happens, so much comes out, like breakthroughs happen. People have been prayed for and released, and all kinds of things happen in the parking lot ministry. And so when she says that is just as important as what's being taught, she's absolutely right. But the parking lot ministry is not mandatory. That's just those of us who want to hang out after class and share. And so that really is a big part. And of course, we have husbands, so they're always like, class has been over a long time ago. But this is the kind of relationships that we build in this community. I mean, that you have other women who are going through exactly what you're going through, who are building right alongside you. And you have another, like a support team, really a support group that you can kind of share your challenges with. And so that has been awesome. And, again, it's been so good to watch you in this program, because Jene't is very, like, she's the one who shows up on time, and she's going to do the homework, and she's going to stretch herself. And I love that. And I know it hasn't been easy. And she said, it's not easy. It's hard. It is hard when you're building a business and you're learning how to do that. Plus, you're building yourself. You're not just building the business, you're building yourself and your spiritual skills, and you're building your confidence, and you're building, yourself in the Lord. You're building your faith, really. And so you're doing all of that at once, plus homework, because I'm a fan of homework. So, you're doing all of that. So it is a lot, but you truly do become a different person in the process. And I'm watching you soar, Jene't. I am watching you right now just do some amazing things. She got
And you know what is so key about what you just said? And I'm sorry I interrupted you, but
Go
you said
ahead.
So I want you to know, and she does not know this at all. She's never heard this before. The thing that got me to step out on faith to even do my business over a year ago, again, y'all connected. My pastor had us read Bishop T.D. Jakes' book, Soar. And out of that study, he like pressed us to step out on what our dreams were, to just take that step and do it. And mine was to start this business.
Wow.
So for you to say that soaring, that just means like so much more.
Oh my goodness. Confirmation across the board. Confirmation across the board.
Yes.
I want to share with them, like, you got your first speaking engagement while you were actually enrolled in FBS3. And like you already had a brand in place, but you solidified that brand, you grew it, you put your program in place, like you created a program in FBS3, you formulated your framework, like you were ready. So I guess my question for you now is, having finished and completed the program and done your first speaking engagement, where do you feel your business is now compared to where it was before you started?
I would not have been as comfortable as I was doing that speaking engagement at all. Because when I was it's even down to the dress. You will learn how to dress in FBS3, because you got to match your brand. You got to have that brand look, your brand message, your brand feel. All of that came together for me.
Awesome.
When I did my first speaking engagement. I pulled on everything that Coach taught us in FBS3. So I had my brand was, my logo was up there. And again, like she said, I already had it, but I tweaked it during FBS3. And it's like, once I tweaked it, that was it. That was it. I had more color to it. I started dressing the colors because I was looking my brand. When I did the engagement, it was so humbling to see. They had like multiple monitors in their sanctuary where the speaking engagement was, and I saw my logo on every single monitor. And I wish I could have grabbed that picture, but it was like so humbling. I'm like, okay, I'm doing what the Lord wants me to do. The framework.
How does that feel to know that you're walking in your gifting and doing what God has called you to do?
I don't think it's still hit me truly. I don't think it has, because when I met my pastor there, I had brought a young lady, because coach always say, you know, use what you got. Don't stress. What do you have? And so I needed some help with the tech. I didn't, because I know I usually go to support my pastor, but I was like, oh, I need somebody to support me. And then I also needed like more shots, more live action shots to put on my Facebook, on my Instagram page. So I asked one of the young ladies from my church that works on our media team to come assist. And I was like, oh, I almost have like a staff. And I was like, oh, it's me. So it was an outer body experience, because pastor was like telling her, you know, you're hanging with the big dogs now. And I'm like, no, I'm actually hanging with the big dogs too, because I'm up here with you. I'm not just here to support you. I'm actually here to deliver something. So it was amazing, and having the framework completed. And I love God. I promise you, I love God, because he puts stuff in order. And I had pinged coach on Facebook when I heard about the church wanted me to come speak. And I pinged coach, I said, I'm not in that part of class yet. What are we doing? I'm not ready. And I was like, how much do I charge them? We haven't gotten to that part of class yet. And she was like, calm down. It's okay. It's your first one. We got time to fix it. So as the time progressed, I had the class on how to cost out stuff. I had the class on the framework. So when I got to the day to do my speaking and all of my preparation leading up to that day, I had the framework to speak from. I had my brand to show. I was looking like my brand. You could not tell me nothing on that day when I got ready to go. I was set. FBS3 set me up for that.
I love it. That is so exciting to me. And here's the thing, because you're going to be in that situation as well. As soon as you say yes to God, opportunities are going to start to come. And you're going to feel like, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. I'm not ready. And we all feel that way. We all go through that. But you are ready, because the anointing of God is already flawless in you. The anointing in you is already prepared. And so we did have to tweak a few things, but you know, when that day came, you were able to shine, and the entire community, we were all excited for you and praying for you. And we wanted to hear, you know, how the speaking engagement went. And that's the kind of love that this community presents. And also that's the kind of preparation that FBS3 gives. And I love that you were able to stand up and shine that day. We were also very proud. My little coach heart was so happy, so happy.
The community, let me say this, the community to have, and there's times like in this world, you don't have for some reason, women don't build up other women, but that does not occur in this community. Everybody has everybody's back. When one of our other members, they were doing a conference, we were all in there praying for her. When I got ready to go do my speaking engagement, we were all in the group praying. They were all in the group praying on my behalf. So when you gain not only knowledge, confidence in yourself, confidence in what you're getting, but the support system is ridiculous. I love it.
So good. That was one of the things that I didn't count on as I was building this program. And in every interview that I have ever done with anybody who's been through the program, it's been, the community is amazing. Like, we love the community of women. And that really makes me happy, because to me, that's the extra, that's the cherry on top. You get the equipment, you also get a community of women that become your support group in the end. I mean, all women of faith that are praying and supporting, and you can't ask for more than that. My last question for you today, Jene't, is, there are some people who are going to watch this video and they are on the fence. They're trying to decide whether or not this is something they should do. They're trying to decide if they should make this investment, because it's a big investment, financial investment and time investment in themselves and in their businesses. What would you say to the person who is sitting on the other side of this video right now, wondering whether or not they should enroll in FBS3?
First, pray about it.
Pray about
Pray
it.
about it. Pray about it first. And when you come out of that prayer, just really look at what you're trying to achieve. And that's what I had to do. I'm going to take the time to invest in all of these different people. Why not take that time to invest in myself first? We as women, we are good for taking care of everybody else, but we don't never stop to take care of our own selves. FBS3 was for me. That was for me. I needed FBS3. And then everybody else is just going to be blessed from what I gained from FBS3. So if you're like me and you're constantly running and taking care of and all of this, but you never stop to do something for yourself, stop and get with Coach. You will not regret it. I promise you. I don't think we didn't even start classes yet, and I was like, okay, yeah, this was correct. This was the right thing to do. And I'm still like, where has she been? I've wasted a whole year or years, because if I had seen her before, who knows where I would be right now with her teaching. So it's like, don't short yourself because of the price. Don't do that, because what you get in return, there's no price on everything that you get. I have a new family. I have new direction on what to do with my business. I got Coach above all of that. So there's not, do it.
I appreciate that. You have been one of the ones that has consistently said from the very beginning that investment is nothing compared to what you have gotten in return. I mean, you said that from, I think, week 1 or week 2, early on, you were like, okay, it's already worth the investment. And so that means so much to me, because I always over deliver. It is my heart's desire to give more than you invest in anything that I do, because the Bible says it is more blessed to give than it is to receive. And so when you say that, it really, really touches me, and I appreciate that. And so I just thank you so much, Jene't, for coming on today and sharing with those like your experience with FBS3. Thank you for trusting me to coach you. Thank you for trusting me with your brand. Thank you for giving 1,000%. You gave 1,000% from the very first class. And I appreciate that so much, because I knew, and it's the same for you, whatever you put in is what you're going to get out of it. You cannot reap a harvest without sowing a seed. And that is not always a financial seed. Sometimes that's the seed of your effort and your time. And you did that. You did that. It was such a joy to coach you. So thank you so much for coming through FBS3. Thank you for sharing your experience with those who are coming into the summer session. Like she said, stop and invest in you. Make the decision for you. Classes start in less than 5 weeks. So we are getting ready. If you are on the fence, talk to me, DM me. Let's get on a Zoom. Let's talk about it. If this has helped you to make a decision, I'm going to drop the link in the description box. Go ahead and get registered. Come on. Let's build this business that God can bless and multiply for his glory and for your good. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the summer session. God bless you today. God bless you, Jene't. Thank you so much. Take good care.
God bless you, Coach.
Bye.